All right. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about Mortis philosophy before we get into any discussions of the product itself. So what I usually start with is this quick question, and that is, what does it mean to conform to WCAG 2.1 success criteria 1.1.1? If you're not intimately familiar with all 72 or so of the WCAG success criteria, I don't blame you. This success criteria is the one that says that all non-text content that is presented to the user has a text alternative that serves the equivalent purpose. And there's a bunch of exceptions in the spec, but what most people think of when they think of 1.1.1 is is for us to have all attributes for images. And that's really not what 1.1.1 says. And part of that is there's a definition in 1.1.1 of what non-text content even is. So as a result, we really do got to think through what that means, what the non-text content is, what it means to provide an effective text alternative, and and how to do so. And so testing for that is equivalently complex. When you begin to understand what I've just said, you'll understand that testing for accessibility is really complicated. It's really hard to get right. It's really hard to ensure that it is all done the same across the team. It's one thing when you have only one person. You don't have to do anything else with one person other than hopefully believe that one person has a complete and thorough understanding of accessibility. When you start having a team, then you have a lot of variation. If you're familiar with that sort of environment, you know what I'm talking about. The bigger the team, the bigger divide is going to be regarding how much accessibility knowledge the team has. And that's actually true even among teams of seasoned professionals. There might still be specific strengths and weaknesses among the team. I'll give you a great example. Me, I've been doing accessibility consulting for 20 years now, and still I just have a bad habit of not thoroughly checking color contrast sometimes. Sometimes if the UI's contrast doesn't seem egregiously bad, then I just move on. But there are some cases where the contrast could look okay and actually still fail. And so this is why something like Mortis has to exist in your team. A robust accessibility methodology starts with having the right resources. Any tool that you use to perform audits needs to offer completeness in your testing. So no more making it up as you go, which is what a lot of people do. A lot of people will just load up the page or whatever they're testing, start tabbing around, start listening to it on a screen reader or something like that, without any real goals other than to hopefully surface some accessibility issues. But you need to, especially in a compliance situation, have a complete view of all the things that need to go into having an accessible product. This also is going to mean that you need accuracy. You need to be able to, all of your team members need to be able to identify and understand exactly where things stand and why. You need reliability. You need to be able to understand, or you need to be able to trust, rather, that the results that you're gonna get are gonna be accurate across the entire organization, regardless of who is doing the testing. You need repeatability. The repeatability is going to utilize the exact same criteria. Apologies for the background noise. Utilize the exact same criteria, the exact same test techniques across the entire team, no matter who is doing it. And this, in turn, will make your results defensible, because having this consistent single source of truth for your testing and for your reporting and your results is going to add to defensibility if and when something happens legally. So this is exactly where Mortise comes in. This is why Mortise exists. So Mortise is a accessibility assurance platform. And what I mean by that is it's an efficiency aid. It provides the ability to manage accessibility testing efforts across the entire organization. And it offers the ability for testers to do their work faster and more reliably. Quite simply, accessibility testers using Mortise can achieve 100% test accuracy with orders of magnitude more efficiency. Even internally with our own team, we have seen a 57% increase in efficiency in our own work when using Mortise.